Hey everybody, and welcome to the next episode of the Arc Dev Kit series. Today we're going to be making a melee weapon. It's always fun, get to find some new way to kill somebody. So we're going to jump right into it, and if you guys were with me last time, I made a silver resource, but we're still going to be using the YouTube directory that I've been using throughout the series. So what we're going to do is I want to make an axe, because axes are fun, and it's just a good way to go. What you want to type in is hatchet. Now, when you're searching for stuff, I want you guys to understand that you don't have to necessarily find said item by its exact name. You're just looking for something that has to do with the rest of it. Like, see how it says metal hatchet icon right here? If you right click that and you go to reference viewer, it'll show you everything to do with it, which is the easiest way. So literally you could find a texture item that's part of it and you'll find its reference. What we're going to do here is, now that we've found the icon, if we go into the primal, we're going to right click that, find in content browser. We're going to scroll back up in this section, but keep it on this one. We're going to scroll up to this section. We're going to drag that. Oh, wait. We're not going to do that yet. Just a second. We haven't made a folder. Remember, I told you guys you got to make files in different directories. So we're going to name this one the axe. We're going to right click this, find it in content browser, scroll back up to where our file is. We're going to drag, copy here. We're going to want to right click that. We're going to want to add your name to it, or whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Now, if you double click this, it will show the references for that. What that accomplishes is we can find the engram for the metal hatchet. We're going to right click that, find that. We're going to scroll back up. We're going to drag that, copy that, put that in the axe folder. Now we're going to do the same thing as with this one. We're going to name it with our name at the end. You can really change the name of these. It just gets really confusing, like if you don't have what they are. So, just a heads up. We're going to set up the engram ahead of time because I don't really want to do that later. We're going to set that to 0 just for testing purposes. This is set so that you can, the required level is this, and the required amount of engram points that they need to pay to be able to use this. Now, if you notice in this one, it has an element in the engram requirements. We don't want that because you can do that and set it to where you need, per se, like a stone hatchet to be able to get the metal hatchet, etc., etc. We're going to strict compile that and save that. Now we're going to go into the Primal Weapon, and we're going to do the description first. Where it says metal hatchet, which is the descriptive name base, and when we're just going to name it a YouTube axe. And we're just going to say made during YouTube TUT. And we're going to go up to requirements. Once again, just like in the past one, see how it has a couple. Now, necessarily in testing, it's easier just to have one. But when you want to add one, just add one so that you can have like a crap ton of things that you need people to have. I mean, you can really go all out. We do have metal in our inventory when we go into the test mode, so leaving that at metal is fine. Now we need to start changing a couple of things though, because of the fact that at this point it isn't anything more than just a primal item. There's nothing there. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in WEAP. We're going to scroll down and you're going to find weapon metal hatchet. You're going to click the magnifying glass, scroll back up to where the axe folder is. We're going to drag that into the axe folder. We're going to rename that just like we've been doing with YouTube at the end, but you can put whatever you want. Keeping the weapon thing in the beginning of this is more useful because of the fact that You start forgetting things when you got 100 different weapons. We're going to double click that weapon. Now we're going to want to, I want to have a little bit of fun with this. I mean, even though it's a tutorial, I want you guys to start learning something a little different. So we're going to mess with mesh a little bit. We're going to type in mesh. And this is the third person and the first person views. You need to have both, otherwise you'll have like a mismatched one when they switch views. We're just going to right click both of those. Now, I want to mess with some stuff, so I'm going to be making a texture per se. So I'm going to come in here and actually grab the texture itself and the normals and the AO. I don't want to have to colorize it or anything like that. For now, we'll do that in like a later tutorial if you guys want to see that. We're going to drag those into the... it almost got me. Drag those into the axe. Copy here. Same thing as before. We're going to add U2 to the end of it. Now, since there's... a couple of them, I think it'll be easier to have this. Oh, wait, it'll actually be easier with that too. So just copying it so that I can go into each different file and just paste it instead of having to rename them all. You do need the normals, by the way, otherwise it's just going to be a flat texture. That's why a lot of mods have flat textures. What I want to do is just mess with the colors of this, just so you guys see some fun to the tutorials at least. Is we're going to just do like the fancy, like Genesis style colorful stuff. So we're going to go into saturation. We're going to put that up to like 3. And it does take a minute sometimes to go through this when you're going through these textures. They're kind of high quality, even though they look like crap. They're kind of high quality. So we're going to bump this up to like 200. See how it's already changing the color. It changed it to blue. It wasn't blue before, it was just silver. Once again, this is just to show you guys how to utilize the textures. Okay, so it's more white now with blue. Yes, it looks like what it looks like. I'm not going to go over that anyways. So we're going to double click these two and like these are going to have the materials replaced from this. So what we're going to do is right click this, create material. You're going to want to double click it, save. You're going to want to drag the durables on. You're going to want to drag the white tick at the top up to where it says durables. And you're going to want to drag the AO in, which is the ambient occlusion. You're going to want to drag that to the ambient occlusion tab. If you need it to be two-sided, you need to click this box, and you need to type in two-sided. Click this, and then click save. Then you won't have any issues with clipping or any of that stuff. You're going to click save, but you're going to have to click save a couple times for this. Now we're going to double click this. At this point, it looks like this. Once we add this file in, it's going to gray it out. You're going to want to save. Double click this again. You're going to want to save this again. Some files take longer to save than others, as a heads up. It's going to compile shaders too, just so you know. Some processors might take a little longer than others. Now if we look, got a cool axe. If we double click this one, you're going to want to put this on to this just like before. We have our new axe. It's all cool looking. We're going to want to minimize that, we're going to want to go into the primal item. We're going to want to click the weapon, click the arrow next to weapon template. It's going to add the new one. We're going to go to strict compile and save. We're going to go into the weapon. We're going to replace the first person view. Then we're going to replace the third person view. And to explain what this can do, you can also go into damage amount. And at this point it just does 40, but we could put it up to like 400. It doesn't really matter. You're going to go to strict compile and save. At this point, it's pretty much set up, like it'll work. Because the egg rib's already set up, the primal's set up. Now all we gotta do is go into the primal game data. We're going to go to additional egg ribs, just like before. We're going to add one. We're going to add in the axe, engram. Go to strict compile and save. We're going to go to play from here. Go to our inventory, view engrams, scroll down, and we have our new hatchet. But it doesn't seem to be working. I love when it does that because I get to show you guys what you do to problem shoot it. We're going to go into axe, we're going to go to engram, and that's not the right one. So you click the arrow, make sure that your primal data is set to this for the engram. We're going to play again. Go in your inventory. Now it says YouTube axe. We go into craftables. We have YouTube axe right there. We just need to grab some resources. And we can build it. Oh, there's another issue that I forgot about to tell you. For this one, you want to go into axe. You want to go to weapon. You want to type in primal. It's going to have a piece in here that it utilizes. It should be working. Oh, wait. In this, it had the primal for the axe. So if you go into requirements, you go scroll down, you'll see it actually has crafting requires inventory component. You'll want to get rid of that. Otherwise, it'll need that smithy, and the smithy doesn't have your blueprint in its inventory at this moment. And now you have a new axe. At this point, it'll do the weapon damage that we said. I just don't want to put anything in yet. I hope to check you guys in the next tutorial, and we'll continue the Arc Dev Kit series.